Harry's wife, Pop 102.57. We choose Kate and William. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor, continuing to educate you about narcissism. And because she pops up everywhere, Harry's wife is such a good teaching tool. In both senses of the word. We now turn to the Express, and as always, I leave it for you to make your determination about the veracity of the material, but an article by Katie Harris tells us as follows. Harry's wife and Harry blow as Americans back Kate and Prince William over Sussexes. Harry's wife and Prince Harry have been dealt a blow as new polling suggests Americans would prefer Kate and Prince William as their king and queen if they were subjects of the British monarchy. The exclusive polls by the Democracy Institute for Express.co.uk found 60% of respondents would want the Princess of Wales to be queen, and 57% backed the Prince of Wales as king. In comparison, 26% said they would want the Duchess of Sussex as queen, and 11% picked the Duke of Sussex as king. Now, in order to inject balance, it might be the case, of course, that those voting wouldn't choose the Duke and Duchess of Sussex because, quite simply, they're way down, or Harry's way down, the order of succession, and that has influenced the decision-making. We don't know what the precise question was, but nevertheless, even if that might have affected the thinking of those that were casting their votes, it's still clear that the Sussexes fall way behind the Waleses. Oh dear. However, former Suits actress Harry's wife was more popular than Queen Consort Camilla, who was chosen by 14% of respondents. Meanwhile, Harry came behind King Charles, who received 31% of the votes, but was in front of his disgraced uncle Prince Andrew on just 1%. I wonder who it was who voted for Prince Andrew. Maybe someone he owes money to. The findings come at the Sussexes are living in the United States after quitting royal duties 2 years ago. Commenting on the polls, director of the Democracy Institute, Patrick Basham, how apt, said, Harry's wife has, in terms of her status as a royal, how Americans view her as part of the royal family. She has 2 groups of supporters. She has your patriotic Americans. She's American. It could be anyone who is American. They would say they prefer her as queen, as we asked in the poll, than Kate, for example. Mr. Basham said the larger group of her supporters are younger Americans who are woke. He added, they see her as something of the poster royal for that. The fact she's American is a bonus, but they would choose someone with that profile and those views she espouses and ascribes to over someone who is American who had politically incorrect views. Accordingly, it would appear that those vote for her because she's seen as woke, and on top of that, it's a bonus because she's American. So that's where her support comes from, continues the article, but in a poll like this she loses quite handsomely, because Kate appeals to a very different type of American, and these are far more of those. Kate is a sort of quintessential, what most Americans think of as a young English lady. They can see Kate continuing to become more and more central to the royal family in terms of its public profile. It comes as the Sussexes are pursuing new lives of personal and financial freedom across the pond after stepping back as working royals in March 2020. The couple have set up home in the celebrity enclave of Monty Shitshow with their 2 children. Harry and Harry's wife post-royal careers include yada yada, heard it before. Meanwhile, Kate and William are set to visit the United States later this year as the heir to the throne takes his Earthshot prize to Boston in December. Oh, what joy. Further poll by the Democracy Institute for Express.co.uk suggests Americans do not think Charles will be a better monarch than the late Queen. Some 65% said no, 22% said yes, and 13% were, I don't know. The Democracy Institute polled 1,500 US voters from September the 27th to the 29th. Once again, Harry's wife finds herself losing out to the Nemesis, even amongst Americans, which of course gives us a particular flavour as to how she is indeed viewed. But let's go below the line and find out what the viewers of express.co.uk online have to say. Adele says, Foodie, I apologise on behalf of all America for the dum-dums here who think Markle's should be queen of anything but Dairy Queen. She can be Dairy Queen and hapless can be the Burger King. My POV. Oh dear, on your soapbox again. Most people in the world would not admire how the Harkles are making their money by trading on their royal status whilst bad-mouthing their families. The novelty of what they say and the lies they tell are already causing the sparkle to dim. Eventually the offers will dry up, and they will have to find real jobs. When this happens, the Americans will identify with them and perhaps admire them, other than the Sussex squad, who will continue to love and adore them no matter what they do. Adele says Foodie responds to this by stating, rather to BBC Scott actually, whose reply seems to have disappeared. So it seems that there's a sugar that has appeared in the mix, but their comment has gone. Carol R. states, as an American, I can say Harry's wife behaves as an entitled Hollywood B-level movie star, rather than Catherine, who exudes class and gravitas that only the English royals can perform. I'm really looking forward to the coronation, and I think Diana would be so proud of William for choosing a woman like she has. Hexton House 007. I'll also be in front of the TV on the 6th of May 2023, just like all of the major royal events. I'm not British, but love them anyway. I only had concerns about the Sussexes, and they were surpassed. Jibber jabber. Well, of course, Americans, like Brits, can see right through their fake smiles, fake philanthropy, bullshit and bought awards, rumour and allegedly. They bought another award with the ceremony at the same time as William's Earthshot in Boston. Harry and Harry's wife reek of desperation. Summer 78. Why? I'm an American and I never saw this poll. Had I seen it, Harry's wife would be even lower than stated. M. Getting HC'd off. They work hard, make a point to get along with others, be it family or people who are rude to them, and don't whine. Why shouldn't we admire the whales rather than the whinging Netflixes? The taxi lady. W&K are royal, H&M are private citizens. Simple. Babs Windsor. A ridiculous poll, but the Americans have seen through dim-wit clown prince and the vacuous wifey. We are lucky. Good luck in Yankee land, has-beens. Meadow. Can you imagine the whole load of daily twaddle that is going to be released by the Sussexes in the run-up and follow-on from William and Kate's visit to Boston? They will not be able to help themselves and will be desperate to get the limelight on them. Nala. Oh dear, Harry, she's dragging you down with her, so probably better to really go and live the quiet life now. Buy British when you can, all wholly irrelevant, still smack in the face for H&M. Milton Keynes' mum. If these polls are correct, then it shows the Americans know nothing about how the monarchy works. Charles is the eldest son of the late Queen Elizabeth II. That means he is the next king. Prince William is his eldest son, so he will be the next king when Charles dies. As the eldest son of William, George will then be the next king when William dies. Harry will never be king as he is out of the equation in the first place. Have I made this clear for those who apparently do not understand? Well, actually, Milton Keynes' mum, Harry still is within the line of succession. Of course, it would take some terrible catastrophe to arise before he became king, but he still theoretically could be. And therefore, your comments are actually somewhat ill-judged. Nevertheless, Love Animals states just proves most Americans can see right through the Sussex pair. And therefore, whilst of course one might make a determination about the efficacy of this particular poll and what it truly portrays, the fact is it states that the Waleses are more popular than the Sussexes, and in the world of Harry's wife, that wounds. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.